In this video, we're talking about players Hawthorn will target in the 2025 off-season. Let's get into it. So in this year's draft, Hawthorn have Carlton's first and second round pick, and that first round pick is probably going to land between 5 and 10. The Hawks also have about 8 young depth players that would be handy on any young team or any rebuilding team. So they are in a very healthy position to send off a big trade package in exchange for a superstar. Out of these 10 players, the only one that's absolutely safe is Walsh, and then 2 others who are most likely safe in CJ and Max Ramsden. The other 7 could easily be included in the trade package, so let's get into it. The first player on the list is Harley Reed. He'll be out of contract at the end of 2026, but at the moment he doesn't seem too happy at West Coast. I think unless West Coast give him a contract that he simply cannot refuse, he'll be gone at the end of this season. As we know, he was seen photographed sitting next to Sam Mitchell at Tom Barris's wedding, and is also great mates with Nick Watson. The age and on-field fit would be perfect for Harley Reed at only 20 years old. Being a forward/midfielder, he's explosive out of the guts, and yeah, that's exactly what Hawthorn are missing right now. He's clearly going to be a future superstar in this league, but $2 million a year, I don't think so. But between 1.5 and 1.7, just going off his future potential, yeah, I could see that as being a possibility. Especially since Hawthorn aren't really paying anyone big money right now. No one's on over $1 million a year. I think the 3 highest paid players in our club are Sicily on $900k, Battle who just signed this off-season for $850 a year, and I think Tom Barris is in about that range as well. So yeah, Hawthorn have some money to spend on a max contract. The trade package would have to include Carlton's first and second round picks from this season, a future first, one of Hawthorn's future firsts, and potentially another player or 2, or even another couple future picks, which would be great for the West Coast and their rebuild. Especially since West Coast are most likely going to get 2 top 5 picks this year, and potentially another 2 top 5 picks next year, and many more throughout the draft. So yeah, another half a dozen picks throughout the next couple of years would be very beneficial for their rebuild. The next player on the list is Zack Butters. The 24-year-old is out of contract at the end of 2026 and is probably the most perfect player to add to this Hawthorn side. Butters is a quick on-baller who's averaging 28 disposals so far this season, and 6 of his 13 games so far, he's got over 30 touches, which is literally exactly what Hawthorn are missing right now. Port are currently the 12th youngest team in the league, and a package of Carlton's picks, potentially a future first-round pick, and say 2 to 3 more players would probably do Port nicely in a trade for Butters. And let's be honest, if Port lose Butters, they're going to have another retooling year next year, and around players like Rosie, Jason Horan-Francis, Georgiades and Bergman, potentially 3 to 5 young players to put into that core would be very beneficial for Port, and probably a win-win trade if the numbers are right. I've seen a few rumours about him going to the Dogs, but I think Hawthorn should chuck the check at him and ask him to write a number down. He's perfect for this team, he's already one of the best players in the league, and yeah, give away 3 to 4 picks, a couple of young players for Port's depth, and yeah, I think it's very much possible, but we'll never know until the end of the season. The last player on the list is Sam Walsh. Like the other 2, he's out of contract at the end of 2026, and I feel like, yeah, Carlton are about to start a rebuild. They missed the premiership window, no one seems happy, the fans absolutely hate the club right now, and yeah, if he stays to the rebuild, he's going to be 32 before they're competing again for a premiership. So I feel like Carlton are going to trade all their assets, including Sam Walsh, and get as much value back as possible. Walsh is averaging 26 over 13 games so far this season, and is more of an on-ball who can play outside, so he's more of an outside mid/wingman, or can play both those positions, which fits Hawthorn perfectly. Walsh is having a bit of a down year compared to his usual standards, but from 2021 to 2024, his worst average was 28 per game, and 2 of those seasons were 30 plus, including 2021 where he came 4th in the Brownlow medal. I think Sam Walsh will fit perfectly into Hawthorn's team, but the only issue I have with him is he's a little bit injury prone. Every year he misses a handful of games through injury, and yeah, that's the only real concern I have with him. But still, I think with players like this, you can definitely just have them rest certain games, like against maybe a North Melbourne or a Richmond or a West Coast. Just rest him. There's no point not resting your star players during those games. Get some young guys in, get experience, and get the depth working in the list, rather than just having the depth play in the 2s every week. And yeah, if he misses 2 games per season, but he doesn't get injured, that's perfect, because really you don't need him for those games against the worst teams in West Coast and Richmond and all that. Same with Will Day. When Will Day comes back, let's say 2026, there's no point playing him against the West Coast, because there's no point injuring him. Give him a week off, rest him, refresh him, and yeah, come back fresh, go from there. Same applies with Sam Walsh. I think he'll be perfect for this team, and he's very underrated. So those are 3 players I think Hawthorn are going to target in the 2025 off-season. They all fit our timeline age-wise, and they all add what we lack in midfield, which is speed outside of Will Day. In order of who I'd want the most, I'll take Zack Butters first, Harley Reed second, and then Sam Walsh third. But if we can't get any of them, or if we only get one of them, I'd go best available no matter what, because these guys will bring a massive boost to our midfield and our team overall next season. But what do you think? Who would you take first, or who would you want the most in our team? Comment down below, let me know, and let me know if I've missed anyone that we could potentially target for 2026. Thank you for watching.